Okay, here we go. Part 17.
Please.
Yes, sir.
When you shot at Mr. Jean, you knew you were using deadly force against him.
Yes.
You know what a bullet can do, don't you?
Yes, I do.
And when you shot at him twice...
You know what a bullet can do. I'm not sure what your question is. What do you mean I know what a bullet can do? I shoot bullets at paper. I shoot it at jail. Bullets can do a lot of things. They can use it for target practice. What do you mean I know? He's getting to run his agenda by putting in the mind that she wanted to kill him and murder him because she used a bullet. What else am I going to carry in my gun, counselor? Other than a bullet. Do you want me to carry spitballs? Is that what you would rather me shot him with?
You intended to kill him.
Oh my God, I can't believe she didn't say no. I didn't want to kill him. No cop wants to kill anybody. I meant to stop the threat. I resorted back to training. I was in fear of my life. I wanted to stop the threat, which is why after I fired 2 rounds and he fell, I stopped shooting. I did not want to kill him. And he has been badgering and beating her down so much with no one looking out for her that she's such a, basically a battered, abused woman right now by this guy that she's going to say anything to get him off her back. So she agrees with this. This is a travesty of this trial right here.
When you shot at him twice, you intended to kill him.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Why did her attorney not object before? Why didn't he whisper in her ear? Why didn't, I mean, you know, she should know 5 years on the streets. Cops never are trained. We never say we want to kill somebody. That's not how we're trained. That's not the terminology we use. This DA just made this shit up watching freaking Afghanistan reruns thinking he's freaking whoever and he's going to use the word kill and he gets her to agree. Unfreaking believable. And now he knows, he's like, oh shit. Not if I got her to say it once, I'm going to get her to say it again. I guarantee you at the DA's office the next day, he was getting paid by somebody probably saying, you know what? I'll get her to say it again. I bet you I can get her to say it 3 times. Unfreaking believable.
So all this stuff about it being a sad mistake, at the moment in time when rubber meets the road, when you pulled that trigger, you intended to...
Objection, Your Honor. Is he testifying about rubber meets the road and all this time and all? Is he got a question here or is he testifying? This DA did nothing but testify, I should say test a lie, to the jury the whole time he was questioning her. Outrageous.
Moment in time when rubber meets the road, when you pulled that trigger, you intended to kill Mr. Jean.
He was the threat. Yes, sir.
No, I intended to stop the threat. I was in fear of my life and I was shooting to stop the threat. That's what all cops are taught. That's what every civilian should learn to say. That's what anybody that carries a weapon or has to do with use of force better learn that terminology. I wanted to stop the threat. This is a trained police officer, been through academy, was promoted to a special team with only 5 people in the whole district on it. And she can't even defend herself to say, I was trying to stop the threat. It was not my intent to kill him. And I'm sorry he's dead. Unfreaking believable. But that's what happens when you let a DA beat your witness down for freaking her whole testimony. He can get her to say anything. Hell, I bet you he can get her to commit that she had something to do with the freaking Kennedy assassination. You what? If this guy wanted to, he could get her to agree that she had something to do with the Kennedy assassination. This is outrageous. The judge and the other attorney allowing this shit.
You answer my question. When you aimed and pulled the trigger at Mr. Jean, shooting him in center mass exactly where you are trained, you intended to kill Mr. Jean.
I did.
Unfreaking believable. This DA just went, I can't believe she said it. Her attorney said, probably thinking, I can't believe she's saying it. The judge is probably saying, I can't believe she said that. And I don't even believe that she meant to kill him. She just testified for it 3 times, and I guarantee you, when she fired her gun, at no time did she go, I'm going to kill this dude. That doesn't go through your mind. That's not what the objective is. Now, maybe if I'm sniping somebody at 200 feet away, and he's got my guys pinned down and I want to take him out and I do a headshot, yeah, I want to kill him. Because if I don't kill him, he's going to kill my other guys. In that situation, I'd say, yeah, I wanted to kill him. You're damn right I did. But as a cop, we don't try to kill people unless it's a sniping. If there's a guy with a bunch of kids hostage and he's killing kids and I got a headshot, yeah, I want to kill him. I meant to kill him when I shot him in the head. This is not the case here. She did not mean to kill him. She was scared to death. She can barely raise her damn voice. She can barely talk. And she's sitting here telling me she meant to kill him? I don't believe that for a second. And unfortunately, I think the jury might believe it. I don't even think the DA that got her to say it believes it. He's probably laughing like, she's so stupid, she didn't even believe it, but I got her to agree with it. That's how good of an attorney I am. You're a freaking punk weasel, DA, whatever the hell your name is.
You indicated to Mr. Shook that you gave loud verbal commands, and I hope I wrote it down right. Let me see your hands. Is that right?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And in court today, you've been somewhat soft-spoken, but I know as a police officer, you have an outside voice, don't you?
I do.
All right. So when you say and you give loud verbal commands, your loud verbal commands weren't like you told this jury today. Were
Your Honor, is there a question? My client testified how she gave her command, and now the DA is saying it's not true. Does he have some proof to that? I mean, it's just outrageous what this DA is allowed to testify and confuse the issues and batter and beat this poor woman on the stand. And I know people are going to think I'm taking up for her, but I hate seeing somebody who can't fight back get beat up. And this DA is just wearing this girl out.
They were loud. I told him to let me see your hands, let me see your hands.
Okay. Why don't you really tell them how a police officer gives loud verbal commands?
Your Honor, asked and answered. She's already testified. He said she's testified. Now he's saying, why don't you really implying that she's lying? Your Honor, tell him to quit badgering my client. It's out-freaking outrageous what this DA is doing.
When they really want compliance.
Judge, you object to relevance as to how a real police officer.
Oh, finally! Her attorney speaks. Holy shit, what happened? Did somebody eat the last donut and he woke up? Good grief!
He said a real police officer.
I can rephrase if you want.
Please rephrase.
So see, he called him on it, and look at the DA being all submissive to the judge, being all nice and polite. Oh, Your Honor, that was a mistake. I can rephrase it, Your Honor. Isn't that nice of him? He's such a nice guy. See how he can turn Jekyll and Hyde in 2 seconds? Let me tell you something. That's all government, people. You don't talk to government. You ask for a lawyer. You never give a statement. I mean, this DA is the poster child for the government stomping on someone's throat that can't fight back. Outrageous.
As a police officer, when it really matters, how do you give a loud verbal command?
In an authoritative and clear voice.
You would have said, let me see your hands!
Now he's testifying. You would have said, Your Honor, is he telling my client what she would have? He's not even testifying now to what happened. He's just making up shit that what she would have done. Are you kidding me? Come on.
Let me see your hands! Right?
It would be a loud voice,
That's
yes.
right. Not like you showed them earlier today.
He just called your client a liar. He just said it's not like you showed them today. He just called her a liar. He's actually impugning prior testimony with absolutely no proof or evidence. And the attorney and the judge is letting him get away with it. Out-freaking-rageous.
You would have been almost screaming that at him, wouldn't you?
I didn't scream it.
All right. But you're saying that that happened at the threshold of the door with the door open, right?
Yes, sir.
So you're actually...
See how the DA immediately deflects when he doesn't get the answer he wanted? Notice when she didn't agree with him and said, I wasn't screaming, she stood up for herself and made a matter of fact and stuck to her testimony and said, I wasn't screaming. He immediately deflected that and moved on to something else. It's very slick and it's very minor, but to me it sticks out like a sore thumb. Listen, watch that.
I didn't scream it.
All right. But you're saying that that happened.
See, but you're saying moved on to the next topic because you said something I didn't want to hear. It's not important, and we're going to move on to something else I want to hear.
At the threshold of the door with the door open, right?
Yes, sir.
So you're actually partially in the hallway.
Yes, I guess you can say that.
I mean, you're not fully in the apartment and you're not fully in the hallway. You're right in the middle, right?
Yes, sir.
You understand that neighbors say that they can, all the neighbors that testified along that hall who are closest to Mr. Jean,
Yes.
the people that live,
She's answering, and he hasn't even stopped to ask a question. He's just testifying to what neighbors said and to where she was standing, and he's allowed to do it. This is absolutely inappropriate. I've never seen this allowed before.
the ones that we call those witnesses are the ones who live across from him, next door to him, the closest as we could find possible of the 300
Good grief. Is there a freaking question here? Are you testifying or is there a question? Come on, people. Somebody stop this dude.
people that live there, right?
Yes, sir.
She just said, right, yes, sir. I don't even know what the hell she answered. I mean, what was the answer? What was the, somebody repeat the question and her answer. Because I can't, and I know I've interrupted and stopped and I'm going off, but, I mean, it's just outrageous.
The ones who list to Mr. Jean.
Yes.
The people that live, I mean, the ones that we call those witnesses are the ones who live across from him, next door to him, the closest as we could find possible of 300 people that live there, right?
Yes, sir.
What the hell was the question? And what is she to say yes, sir, to? I still don't get it. Because it was an unclear question, because it was a statement, because the DA is allowed to give testimony and then get the defendant to just say yes, sir, to whatever he testifies to. Out.
One of them heard you say that.
I can't tell you why.
Well, it's because you didn't say it there, right?
Yes, sir.
One of them heard you say that.
I can't tell you why.
Well, it's because you didn't say it.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? He just testified that none of the witnesses heard it, so therefore she didn't say it. Are you kidding me? He's absolutely in direct, what's the term I'm looking for? He's testifying, he's stating facts that are not in evidence, and he's actually refuting statements and her testimony that is on the record saying it isn't true with no proof. I mean, it's just outrageous.
Not true, sir.
She said, not true, sir. I mean, she should have said, I testified what I said, and I testified truthfully. And I don't know where you're getting your information that I didn't, but if you want to prove that, please do so. Because I testified truthfully, and I did say it, and I stand by that. She could have made a lot of points with the jury with that type of response. Maybe not as in your face like I am, but those are the statements that you need to get out and push back when somebody's trying to railroad you like this.
I want to talk to you now about the decision before you actually went in. So, again, I want to go over what you told Mr. Shook, okay? You said, and I'm going to use this again as the door to 1478, all right? You said it was slightly ajar and that you noticed that, right?
Yes, sir.
And you said that you put the key in with your right hand. You noticed the red light blinking, didn't you?
No, I did not.
Okay. But when you did that...
See, he tried to slide. He thought he could get her to agree to anything. He's just making shit up, hoping that maybe she'll agree to it. Every once in a while, she says, no, that's not right. But she doesn't do it very often. She doesn't wait for him to ask one clear, specific question.
The door, even though it's weighted and it's going to close on its own, pushed open a little bit, didn't you?
The force of me putting the key in opened it.
Okay, so that force, but you said that just from that small amount of force that you put just to put the key in and the door opening a little bit, you could hear movement inside, like shuffling or moving around.
Yes.
Okay. And then you said you made the decision at that point, from that perspective.
Your Honor, Can you tell the DA to stop testifying to what my client said? If he wants it read back, her testimony, we can do that. You don't let some DA or prosecutor or defense make statements that you said and put things in the record. She made a statement and they're going to hold her to that statement. And when he repeats it, if it's one word off and you agree, now if the jury reviews those two things, they're going to say, oh, you know what? When she testified, she said this. But when he asked her if she said that, she said she did. So she changed her testimony. When in fact, the DA is just playing some rope-a-dope with you, giving bullshit testimony because your attorney isn't objecting.
I wanted, as the door began to open, I was wanting to find the threat.
Yes, there was someone in my apartment.
Right.
I didn't like when she said I wanted to find a threat. I didn't think that was true. I thought it was a misstatement. But it wasn't a good answer on her direct, and her attorney probably should have fixed that around. When your statement misspeaks like that, you're allowed to follow up a question like, you said you wanted to go in and search, but is that what you really thought? Or was it you were scared and you didn't know if somebody was in there and you heard movement, and since you thought somebody was in there, you wanted to see because you couldn't believe it because you know you locked the door and the door was open. I mean, there's ways to get, you probably couldn't ask the way I just asked because then that would be leading, but there's ways to get out that information and to correct that statement and then follow up with, so when you said that you wanted to find him, it wasn't that you wanted to go in like a SWAT team member and take him out. You just wanted to confirm, was there somebody there? What was the movement? If there was, were they a threat? Isn't that more correct? Yes. But because that wasn't done, now the DA gets to repeat her testimony.
You knew that before this door had been fully open. You wanted to find the threat and fully open that door, and that's when you saw Mr. Jean.
No,
True?
sir. No, sir. It happened so quickly.
You said, I put the key in and I hear moving around. As the door began to open, I wanted to find the threat. As the door was opened fully, that's when you saw the silhouette.
Yes, sir.
So you knew from outside that door, with the protection of that door between you, that there was something inside that was making noise.
No, I did not know. I was still confused. I was kind of shocked. I was still trying to evaluate and take in information. I did not know. But we'll see what she answers.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Oh my God, are you kidding me? He's talking her in. He is totally manipulating her and making her answer things that is directly against what she already testified, and her lawyer is not objecting.
Okay. So here were your options then. Your options were, at this point, to go in and find the threat, or your option would have been, I'm going to back off, I'm going to take a position of cover and concealment, and I'm going to get some help out here. Those are options, right?
And they are.
Okay. But you chose...
See, she just let him make a statement, and now she agreed with it. Instead of saying, there was a lot of options, but at the time, it was happening so fast, and I thought I was at my apartment, and I was so confused, and then when I heard something move, my heart rate went up, and I started moving in to a disoriented state of fear that I didn't have time to process information. And if you listen to the guy who testified on fight or flight, you know that the higher the state of fear and when your life is threatened, your ability to reason and to start thinking in complex decisions like you're explaining here is not possible. So you're making it sound like I intentionally did all these things, when in fact, it was all on autopilot and happened so quick, I didn't have time to process much of anything, except that I was fearful and I thought I was going to die and I had to defend myself. That's about all I had time to process. That would have been much better and shut him down. Hopefully you're seeing a theme on how not to just go along with the government.
Option A, which was I'm going in to find the threat.
It was the only option that went through my head. I was at home, and
Ma'am, will you answer my questions?
See? As soon as she justifies, he makes it look like she's trying to hide. Her attorney absolutely can say, Your Honor, she just answered his question. He doesn't get to tell her to answer her questions just because she gives an answer that he doesn't like. She's trying to testify and he's trying to bully her into giving the answer that he likes. And when she gives him an answer, he says, you need to answer my questions. I'm getting tired of him badgering my wit. What the hell does that attorney need before he defends his freaking client? Outrageous.
Yes, sir.
You chose to.
See? As soon as he attacks her and says answer, what does she say? Yes, sir. She starts agreeing. She is in a state, what we call when you're training animals, of learned helplessness. If you beat the hell out of an animal, no matter what he does, he stops doing anything because he just wants you to stop. Same thing with a battered woman. If a woman knows she's going to get beat by a husband that beats her, she just learns, you know what, I'm going to get beat anyway. It doesn't matter what I do. I might as well just do nothing, or I can do whatever the hell I want, because it doesn't matter. I'm going to get beat. It's called learned helplessness. This DA has conditioned her on this stand of learned helplessness that if I tell him an answer he doesn't like, he's going to make me look bad in front of the jury, accuse me of lying, and tell me to answer his questions. And since the judge and my attorney isn't stopping him, he must be right. And since I don't want to get chewed out in front of the jury and I'm already nervous, I'll just go along and tell him what he wants to hear. This is why she's making these. This is a perfect case for appeal in my book, that she was bullied and wasn't given good representation and was allowed to be bullied on a stand by this DA. And the DA was absolutely inappropriate and gave more testimony than he asked questions. But shit, I'm at 21 minutes. 22 minutes. All right, hang on. We'll go to part whatever.